What is up, people? Welcome to the channel, guys. The transfer window is finally over. However, I believe the domestic transfer window for the Premier League clubs is still open till the 16th of October, but I don't think that there would be any big transfers involved during this period. Having said that, this is transfer window, man. Anything can happen in these transfer markets, and this is not me who is quoting this. I just straight away quoted this from Fabrizio Romano. Um, that's it. Today, I'm not gonna talk about the transfer market. Today, I'm here to talk about a club whom I support, the club whom I love, the club whom I bleed for. Of course, I'm talking about. Of course, I'm talking about Barcelona and the game against Sevilla. I do want to tactically analyze the game. So let's go, guys. Let's start with the starting lineup for both the teams. As we see, Barcelona was playing with a 4-2-3-1 formation as we would expect under Ronald Koeman, with pretty much the same side that played the game against Celta. Now, if you look at the Sevilla team, they lined up in a 4-3-3 formation. Sevilla, as we know, has a very strong midfield, unlike the teams we have faced earlier. So we knew this was going to be the toughest game for Koeman and his boys. If we look at the Barcelona pass map, we would clearly see Busquets covered larger territory as compared to Frenkie, who in my opinion had a poor game as per his standards. He misplaced a lot of passes today, and it was his poor clearance that resulted in that Luke de Jong goal. Although we equalized within a minute, courtesy to a rare Navas mistake, though you would feel that Coutinho got his well-deserved goal. In the second half, after the introduction of Pjanic, Frenkie played in a more advanced role, which I wasn't totally convinced. I know Koeman didn't want to substitute him because of his defensive duties, but if you have a player like Ricky Puig in the bench who is perfectly fitted for this role, why won't you use him, right? As we talk about Griezmann, yet again Griezmann had an off day at the office. In the first half, he had a very good chance of scoring, but his first touch let him down, quite similar to that of in Barbados. I think he needs to work on this aspect. Related to Griezmann, I get this question a lot, that should Griezmann play as a central striker while Messi as a right winger? For me, if you play Griezmann centrally, you won't be able to utilize his defensive duties, and if you play Messi in the right, he won't be able to help the team defensively, and that will make the right wing vulnerable for Barcelona. We all remember what Alphonso Davies did to us, right? We don't want a repeat of that. And it's not that Griezmann isn't getting chances playing in the right. He's getting very good chances but isn't converting them. As a forward, you need to score these goals wherever you play. In the second half, especially after the substitution of Fati and Griezmann, we clearly lacked players in the box. I feel someone like Braithwaite, who's a proper number 9, could have been really beneficial for us in the game. And that's one disadvantage of playing Messi in that central role. When he drops, there's no one to occupy that space, as Trincao and Pedri won't take up that space. If you see Sevilla's passing map, it's pretty evident that Jesus Navas was more of an attacking fullback out of the two. Navas had 4 key passes for Sevilla, which is the most by any player in the game. Now, if you look at Ivan Rakitic, who returned to the camp now after 33 days, also covered a lot of territory to support Acuna and Ocampos. Another interesting thing about Sevilla's game is their frequent crossfield switches. We have seen it a lot in the previous seasons, especially in the Europa League, where Sevilla utilized switches of play very frequently to engage Regulan and Ocampos on one wing and Suso and Navas on the other, to create danger and also make it physically demanding for the other team to press. And against Barcelona as well, it was no different, as we can see Sevilla attempted a greater number of switches. If I talk about defense, I have to talk about the two centre backs from Barcelona, especially Ronald Araujo. what a game he had. For me, he was best player for Barcelona in the game. Having said that, Kunde also have a very good game for Sevilla, although VAR was the central point of controversy yet again. When I see this image, I know that it's a clear penalty, but at real time I thought it wasn't a penalty. But as the referee consulted VAR, we all saw in the highlights that it was clearly a penalty and that Messi was clipped by Carlos. But I don't know who are the people reviewing this. Even after so much evidence, they decided not to give the penalty. But never mind, we move on. We move on to our next player, that is Neto. Neto needs to work on his distribution for me. His shot stopping skills are fantastic and he has proved this over time and again. But as you can see, there are a lot of misplaced passes made by Neto and he needs to work and improve this as soon as possible. As we look into the stats, we can clearly see there isn't much to separate the two sides. Sevilla is one of the top teams in the division as well as the current Europa League champion. And then when these two Spanish giants lock horn against each other, we are bound to witness an evenly matched contest, right? The draw for me was a fair depiction of the game as both teams created chances but were unable to convert those chances. From a coolest point of view, I think this wasn't a convincing performance, but having said that, it wasn't a poor performance after all. We didn't crumble in front of a high pressing Sevilla, and that's a positive. I would expect Koeman and his staff to address these issues and hope to see improvements in the upcoming games. If you like this video, make sure you drop a like, and if you want to suggest me anything, you can always go back to the comment section and give your valued feedback. And I am pretty new at this, so your comment will be highly appreciated. And if you want to support me, you can always subscribe to my channel and share this with your friends and families. Thank you guys, thanks for watching, bye.